Wind and Reed Sax Talk, episode 3. Here we are.
But wait, we're sax talk and we have a baritone horn sitting between us.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I have been putting a sax mouthpiece on this.
Oh, how's it sound?
I should have brought it. Didn't bring the sax mouthpiece. I just have the brass mouthpiece on it.
The best part about this for the rest of everyone who was watching is that this was actually the first instrument I ever played back in 4th grade.
Yeah.
I played it for, I think, 3 years.
Nice.
But I have no embouchure left, so I'm not even going to try anymore.
Oh.
I know. But the fact that, we found a silver Naked Lady pseudo tuba.
Yeah.
I mean, so we both thought it was a tuba by the pictures, and then Michael went to go pick it up. He's like, it's kind of small.
Dude, I drove an hour and 15 minutes to get this thing. Because on Facebook Marketplace it said tuba. And, that's how little I know about brass instruments.
Well, also it looked bigger in the picture.
Yeah, it did. There wasn't like a ruler next to it or anything.
Right, yeah.
So I drive down there, guy opens his trunk, and this is sitting there. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I'll take it anyway.
You're like, it's silver, it's got a Naked Lady on
exactly.
it. I'm sold.
Sold. Yeah. Nice. So, yeah. So we got some fun topics today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of silver, the other thing, the big thing next to you.
Show and tell.
In show and tell, before we dive into everything else.
Yep.
We had been talking about your fascination with silver instruments.
Yes.
And then I think on Facebook Marketplace I found that.
Yep.
Sent it to you. I was like, yeah, you're never going to buy it. And then you drove down and you bought it. And then you took it on tour.
Yeah, I wrapped it in bubble wrap and carried it around like a body.
Around half the country.
Yeah. For 2 weeks.
You drove down to Texas or Louisiana.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Louisiana. Yeah, we went down all the way down. We picked it up in Hartford, drove all the way down to Louisiana, and then over to Texas. Did 8-10 shows with it just sitting in the trunk.
So I'm talking about it without actually talking about what it is.
Yeah.
It's a giant silver 1920s bass.
There it is.
And it was pitch black.
Yeah, it did not look like this.
It was pitch black. It was grungy.
And you shined it up.
I mean, we dipped it. We hand polished it. It was a project for me and Jacob. Man.
Monster.
That is fun.
Monster.
But yes, so if anyone's looking for a giant silver bass,
I'm selling it.
he's selling it because...
We're selling it. It's on the website.
But I mean, it was a good reason. You made a very mature decision.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, well, if I'm going to play it at the show, I have to drill into it. To put
exactly.
What is it?
The contact mic.
Yeah, the contact mic.
Yeah. And
then it's going to travel, and it's going to get bruised and beat up. It's going to get damaged through airport security.
Exactly.
You're like, I think I have to sell it. I'm like, I think that's the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for sale.
So
check it out. It's gorgeous. It plays great. But I don't want to destroy it. I want somebody to have it that's not going to just drill a bunch of holes and cover it in duct tape. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, man. So, speaking of old horns, what about, how's about Psychoacoustics, huh?
Okay. So, I don't even remember how it got started in my brain. And then I texted you this big, long, 5 paragraphs of text message of okay. I think I prefaced it by, I've been thinking about, what was it? I was thinking about the conversation we had about one of your friends when he was listening to you play and how there was, what was the word he used? Not the spread, but I don't know, how the notes and everything on your...
Oh, the glide.
Yeah, the glide of your 10M versus one of your other saxophones.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about that. But also, I was thinking about how, when I'm learning with Jacob in restoring horns, and we've had a Mark VI, there's all these differences in a saxophone. So you have the springs that might be faster or slower, especially over time. You have pads that seal better or worse over time. You have not just single pads, but multiple pads sometimes where when you transition, you have a pad coming up and another pad coming down.
Right.
And all these things that evolve, and that sometimes it's not just about the sound that you make, but the absence of sound between the notes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using it because I come from a fine arts background of studio art, where we talk about negative space. So when we're composing a photograph or composing a drawing or anything else like that, that we're looking both about what we're putting on the paper, but what also we're choosing not to put on the paper.
Right.
And how we're using that negative space to inform the positive space. So I was thinking about playing the instrument and the sound that it creates from a visual perspective as opposed to an acoustic perspective. And it got me thinking of how that evolves with an instrument.
Yeah.
And how not just one instrument, but like, let's say you have a brand new saxophone versus a vintage saxophone, where they might have started in the same place, but after 60 years of playing, being played, being restored, going through airport security, like, there's an evolution that can happen to change the signature of that sound over time.
Right.
So, like, this is, as you can see, a very long-winded email thread that I sent him.
Yeah.
And then I think you read it like at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I couldn't sleep. It put me to sleep.
Yeah.
It was great.
I mean, it's great.
No.
But then it I plug my theory into ChatGPT, which also gave me some great insights into all these other things.
Yep.
So we came back with Psychoacoustics. We came back with, what's the sound envelope?
AS, attack, decay, sustain, release. Just an
Yes.
envelope.
Yes, which is something that you can do in like Ableton when you're looking at sound.
Exactly.
And then there was the other one that you just, we have it.
Affordance theory. Yeah. I mean, that's what you were just talking about, which is the idea that different tools encourage different behaviors. So, for example, I was recording the other day and I had this passage that was fast 16th note, circular breathing, arpeggios. And I wanted to be really in tune. I wanted to sound classical.
Yeah.
I wanted to be really precise. And I tried it on my old Silver 10M, and I was like, there's too much glide between the notes. Like, I was noticing the glide. It wasn't exactly the sound I wanted. I was like, I want something really crisp and, like, machine-like. Mm-hmm. So I went to my Atlantic, which is a new horn that was given to me by this company, Atlantic, and it was exactly what I needed for that passage. And it's interesting. That is the affordance theory, I suppose.
Well, I think it's both. Well, I don't know if that's the actual affordance theory, but it's no, because the affordance theory is you're leaning into the tools that you're given. So, like, you're working, like, if with the 10M, you'd be working with the glide and making that part of your sound.
Right.
And going further
that would
down.
Be affordance.
That would be affordance.
Got it. Not moving away from...
Correct.
Yeah.
But you went the other direction, which was, I can hear the difference in my tool.
Yeah.
And it's not getting me to the sound that I want.
Right.
So I have to go back to that ADSR. Mm-hmm. ADSR and find the saxophone that allows me to do the thing that I want to do correctly.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
which is also fascinating. That,
yeah.
like, from a musicality perspective, you changed your tool to get you to the sound that you wanted.
Right. Yeah, for sure. That's why I love having a bunch of different horns. But then I went back to my other 10M, and I was like, oh, this is actually even better than the Atlantic. And it's just a spring thing. The springs on my silver 10M are just too weak for what I need. So that's just like a setup thing. But it's interesting. Each horn has a completely different feel, and I'm like, it's why I like to have a couple different ones.
Well, I think, but that's the interesting thing. I think that one of the interesting things that came out of the conversation, which was like, we all have this sound in our head.
Yeah.
Of this vision in our brain of what we want either a passage to sound like or our sound to sound like or anything else like that. And sometimes we have to find the mouthpiece, the reed, the saxophone to hit that sound. Or we have to figure out a way to change to make that sound come out. But sometimes that's part of the instrument itself.
Yeah.
Which is what you kind of came to, which was, oh, I need to do this on a different saxophone entirely.
Yeah.
But also, like, and there's so many different levels of complexity to that, which got me thinking about how you can program them in Ableton and change the whole, not the wavelength, because we're not just talking about you hitting a specific note, but it's the rise to the note, the drop off, the sustain, and then like the decay and all those other parts. And all of those are things that we can hear, not necessarily we can hear them, but perhaps not always verbalize what we're hearing differently. I think that gets into the psychoanalytics, the psychoacoustics aspect of it. We can hear those little nuances.
Yeah.
That change everything. And each horn kind of develops its own signature that can be totally different and evolve over time. And it's kind of like in typography that, you know, you might have some letters that drop below the bass line. You might have kerning that brings some letters closer to others, and they kind of like work into each other. So there's all kinds of these little nuances of a horn beyond, can I hit my chromatic scale? You know, or does the glide between these two notes, is it working for or against me in this piece that I'm playing? Like maybe that trill really works well on this specific instrument because of how it has warped or broken in or whatever, where it doesn't because it's too broken in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I was just imagining like an envelope generator. So like how you can use an envelope generator is, you know, in electronic music you have the actual sound, the envelope of the amp that it's creating. Like the you know, say you have a sine wave, you could have it you know, and if you have it attached to a MIDI controller or something, you press down, and if it's a short attack, it'll just happen immediately. Do.
Yep.
And then if there's no release, the second you release your finger from the key, the sound will stop. So saxophone's kind of similar, but you are the oscillator, and like your breath is the oscillator in your tongue. Your tongue creates the attack, and your tongue determines the attack. Like you can go ta, which is a short attack, or you can go the, right? There's still some sound happening there, but it takes a little longer to get to the attack. And then the saxophone is the envelope generator. So you have the envelope of the actual sound, and then it's going through this other envelope, which is the horn.
Yeah.
And I think like newer horns are kind of more of like a square envelope. You know, it's more just like clean attack, instant release. And I think maybe in this, I'm just kind of spitballing here. You know what I mean? I might be saying shit that's wrong and whatever. But anyway, you know, when I play a horn like my Con 10M, that's the silver plated one, right? I just made this really bluesy track. It's kind of like a hip hop, kind of bluesy. I wanted it to be really grimy tenor sound. And I was playing one of my more modern horns, and I just couldn't get the sound I wanted. You know, I'm like, is it because I'm sharp? Am I flat? You know what I mean? Is it the and I'm just like playing the part, and it's like, no, it's in tune, everything about it was right from a musical standpoint. And I'm like, it's just the horn. So I grabbed my silver 10M and got the take. You know, and I was like, that's what was missing. It was almost like a little, like it added some character that I didn't need to add because it was in the horn already. It's like the spirit of the horn, you know?
So that would be the psychoacoustics.
Right.
Because then you're leaning into the unique character and deviance of the instrument. I'm saying deviance in a weird way, but deviance because it's deviating from the standard.
Right. Right.
You know, and if we think about modern horns all being on the standard,
Yep.
then you get further and further away from that. Maybe the older the horn gets, the life it has lived,
Yeah.
becomes nuanced.
Right.
You know, and it was a fun imagination to like think of acoustics in a visual perspective because I can see how that would happen.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's just because I don't have the music vocabulary to express it from that perspective. But I like the idea that there's a signature to an instrument and how it is lived and changes the dynamic. No matter what you're playing,
Yeah.
it's going to change the dynamic.
100%.
And you can either lean into it or you can fight it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, when I play a Summer Supreme, for example, I'm really impressed by how clear it is. You know, it's like what I'm saying is coming out perfectly. You know, it's like there's no the ergonomics and everything about it, the resistance, the speed of the springs, the way it's set up, the key heights. It's like when they're set up good, it feels incredible.
I mean, you've referred to them as like a race car, like a well-oiled machine.
Right, exactly. It's like, but it's almost like too much. I don't know. Like I'm sure I'd get used to it, but it feels like I want some of that resistance. I want to fight a little bit. You know, I don't want it to be just like purely technical. You know what I'm trying to say here?
Well, yeah, like it's kind of like playing the notes versus playing the music. Like maybe on the Summer Supreme, it's easier for you to play the notes, but you're not hearing the music the way that you're envisioning it come out as a result. Like it's playing it too perfect. It's playing it too much in line with the standard.
Yes.
And I think part of being an artist is you're not doing the standard.
Right.
Because otherwise you could just be, I don't know, anyone could fill in for you because you're just playing the notes.
Right.
You know, the musician is the one that goes beyond that and has a signature characteristic beyond simply playing the notes that are put in front of you.
It's true, man. It's funny. I've tried so many times to switch to like, you know, a more modern horn, even a still a vintage, but like a Mark VI or like a King Silver Sonic or something more modern than what I'm playing on. And after a couple weeks, I'm just like, this is not it. Like, why isn't it right? You know?
Yeah.
And I think part of that is because I've been playing a Content M for.
Well, it's become
forever. It's become my voice.
It's become your voice.
Yeah, exactly. It's become my voice.
And that makes sense. Like it also probably, I mean, in your life so far, that probably also came around, or you got your first 10M at the part in your life where you were first developing your voice.
Yes.
So kind of your voice as an artist developed hand in hand with this instrument.
Yep. True that, man.
You know, which says something about the importance of someone at that point in their musical journey, really trying to find the instrument that kind of aligns with what they hear in their psychoacoustics.
Right.
You know, that is giving them the sound. That when they play something that has meaning to them, they hear and they go, oh man, that part sounds the way I always imagined that part to sound.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is. You know, it encourages people to explore. You know,
Yeah.
and really, I mean, it's kind of the fun thing about having all these instruments that come in the door is that, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you get to explore them.
Yep.
Jacob gets to explore them.
Yep.
You know, and you get to go, oh, this is this has interesting characteristics.
Yes.
They might not be the ones for me,
Yep.
but they are interesting.
Exactly. I remember that gold chewberry that we sold
yes.
to the guy in Japan. That horn is sweet. That horn has like a spirit in it, man. I'm telling you. Like, I remember when we got it, I went and played it in the stairwell for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I was just like, there's something so special about this saxophone. But for me, it was like it didn't have the articulated G sharp. You know, there are certain requirements I have.
I mean, yes.
To like play it professionally, you know,
Totally.
with the tunes I'm playing and everything, and just what I'm used to.
No, the silver New Wonder 2 Barry that we have, I still am waiting for Jacob to be like, can I trade?
Right?
Like, when he played that the first time, like, he lit up, and I was like, oh boy, we're gonna.
Yeah, it's a great horn, man.
I don't know. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Like, he played, what was that passage that he played? Anyway, he just played a short passage. He was like, oh yeah, this one's fun.
Yeah. It's smoking.
Yeah.
And the silver, too. I mean, the silver is just...
I know, there's a silver thing.
There's some gold.
Although now we have a gold section, so... I mean...
The gold is crazy,
we've
too.
got the gold collection on the website.
Well, the gold is silver. It's just silver and gold.
That's...
Right? Because it's gold on silver.
Is it all the time?
Yeah. I think you have to plate gold on silver. Because any gold-plated jewel...
True, because it has... Yeah, the wear spot, like, so where the gold does wear, it wears through. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which creates, like, a really cool wear.
That does.
You know?
Yeah, we've got 3 golds now.
Dude, it's luxurious. I want to just wear it as, like, a necklace. You know
Like
what I mean?
Flava Flav with a big watch.
People are like, play it. I'm like, it's a necklace. You want to play my necklace?
I mean, maybe if it's one of those little curved sopranos.
It's pretty baller. Get a gold curved soprano with a gold chain.
Yeah, a little gold curved soprano.
That's tough.
Yeah. What is that? It's my sofa sax.
I'm doing that. That's a great idea. It's genius.
You're just gonna
you heard it here first. You saw the birth of this idea.
I'm sorry. I'm just having a picture of you like walking into a show with like your big, a big furry black jacket that you have, wearing like one of the fluffy Ame hats with this gold curved soprano around your neck with a big fat chain.
That's tough.
It's like totally like I'm gonna get you sucker like vibes of like.
I'm doing it.
Totally pimped out.
Yeah, I like that. Mr. T.
Yeah.
Mr. T.
Yeah.
I tried going for like a Mr. T look for a minute. It's tough. With all the chains, it's dedication, man.
Yeah,
he's got to take all those off and put them on. What you say?
You're white.
Ooh, yeah, there's that too. There's that too.
No, but I mean like gold plated. Yeah.
Right?
I'm totally digging the idea. Like with a big fat chain, you could definitely...
With a bust down.
Yeah, totally. It wouldn't work with a straight soprano. It would have to be a curved soprano.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean...
Straight soprano would be dangerous. Stab myself with it.
Yeah, seriously. You would cause some damage to future generations. Sorry, folks. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the topic of the affordance, the ASMR, whatever that acronym is, all of it, I think, is something that like is worth exploring. Not sure how. Not sure like what we could do with it. But I am curious what other people think of it.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't know.
Tell us in the comments below.
Yeah.
Complex systems and emergence.
What was that? Was that also
A vintage horn has non-uniform springs, uneven pad compression, wear patterns, personalized regulation. These imperfections interact non-linearly. Tiny differences produce emergent behavior.
Okay, so brings up a question. If you have a vintage saxophone and you're getting it restored, what are you looking for at the end of the day? Because if you're trying to get it back to original, you never will get it back to original.
Right.
Are you trying to get it to playable and accepting where it's at? Like, how much, or what's the right way what's the right way to restore a vintage saxophone without ruining the character that has come about from that saxophone? Because, like, I'm thinking with, like, either one of your 10Ms, if you took it and got it overhauled,
Yep.
and they replaced all the springs,
Yep.
and they replaced all the pads, and they put all the key heights to original factory standards, I think there's a good chance that you would get the horn back and hate it.
Potentially, yeah. Depends on who does it, you know? Depends on who does the
Right.
overall. Yeah.
But even that, like, even with the springs, you might be like, I lost that ability to trill between
Right.
these specific notes.
For sure.
And you would lose the glide, possibly. Like, I can see restoration losing the character
Yep.
of a horn in trying to get it back to factory.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, usually I'm just very nitpicky with my horns. Like, when I bring it to somebody, I won't take it back until it feels how I want it to. You know what I mean? I'll make them sit there with the spring heights and the key heights and everything. But the last person that worked on my 10M, this dude out in Denver, I think his name was Dave.
Yeah.
Incredible tech. Maybe the best tech I've had work on one of my tenors. And I got it back and I was like, this is how it should feel.
Okay.
You know, it was like the best it's ever felt. And then I've had people work on it. I've had that horn overhauled and people just destroyed it. You're right. It's like, fuck, man. And then and it takes 2 more weeks for them to get it back to like where I want it. You know, trial and error.
Yeah.
Just like, nope, not quite there. Like these, you know.
But that's the thing is they didn't destroy it. They were trying to get it back to a standard.
Right. They didn't exactly.
And that's the hard part of like
Yep.
that balancing act of, well, I have to do something, but I don't. What they're aiming for is a moving target that they don't know anymore because that spring they replaced might have been the spring from 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. That is at like 1/10 the strength that it should be, but you liked it until it snapped.
Do you know the story? Have you ever heard the story of John Coltrane? This is kind of off topic a little bit, but it's about a mouthpiece. So like people do the same. People
There's a baritone that's like,
I know. Sorry, let's keep this thing. You always got to have it by my side, you know.
It's our little buddy right between us.
Yeah, there's this story of Coltrane, like he was supposed to record an album and got his mouthpiece refaced by this really famous mouthpiece refacer. And he gets it back and he's like, you ruined my sound. Like you ruined it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to go record. And what he did instead of like quitting or like, you know, canceling the session, he recorded a ballads album because the mouthpiece was better for ballads.
Huh. But then did he ever get his sound back after that?
Yeah, he did.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I know, no, it's tough. Then you have to And that's part of being an artist too, is you have to work with what you got, and work with, the tools you have, and make the best. I had a teacher, Tony Malaby. I think the best lesson he gave me was, I was like, the mouthpiece and the reed, and it's not a good reed, it's not a good mouthpiece, it's not good, the horn's not playing right, and he was like, listen, it's a metal tube, make it sound good. That's your job. Yeah. Make the metal tube sound good, and basically stop complaining. And I was like, oh, okay. From that point on, I really stopped worrying too much about gear. I still play on a horn I like, and try and play on a good reed. But it helped me be like, okay, it's really about me. It's the Coltrane quote: "You can play a shoestring if you're sincere. Like, you can make it work if you're a good artist. That's your job." Like, Charlie Parker was a heroin addict and was selling his altos before gigs, and his friends would have to go buy him a new random alto. So some of the legendary recordings that people worship are Charlie Parker on heroin on a plastic alto with a random mouthpiece and some size 2 reed or whatever, or 4. I think he played. You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. Like, yes, you have to have an instrument that you connect with, and don't do drugs, but also
don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, but don't do heroin at least. But I don't know what my point was there.
Sorry.
I think, did I just derail the whole thing? Did I derail it? I don't know what I was getting at there. I started just monologuing.
No, it was good. It was good. Embarrassing thing. So there's a movie, Mickey 17. I think I told you this. I've just finished reading the books. Mickey 17 was a great airplane movie. Funny, stupid, great sci-fi. But he brings up in the book is this, the concept of the ship of Theseus. So Theseus traveled the entire world sailed around the world, but he was always fixing his ship and replacing one plank at a time, to the point that when he got back, quite literally every part of his boat had been replaced. Was it the same boat? I think it kind of applies to saxophones, especially vintage instruments, that you're always replacing things, whether it's pads or springs or having things that are, modified. At which point your 10M is not like anyone else's 10M.
Right.
It is its own thing from that perspective.
For sure.
And I think people grow with their instrument when they keep on playing. I think the instrument grows with them because they're breaking in their own groove patterns and everything else into their instrument.
True that.
And I think that's important to develop that kinship with your instrument. And not to get caught up in I have to flip this instrument or get into the next instrument, or that buying a better instrument is going to make me a better player. I think it really is the development of that kinship.
Yeah.
Finding the right sound in the beginning and then developing it together seems like an important thing to do. And I feel like many of the best artists have those instruments that they can never part with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you might have a different instrument for a different part to get you to a different sound.
Right.
But nobody will take away the Green Lady.
No.
So
never.
And the Silver 10M will never replace the Green Lady.
Right.
It'll be different. It's close, but it's not the same.
Exactly. So true. So true, man. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Spirit of the Horn.
Spirit of the Horn. The next name of our podcast as we keep on changing
it. I love it.
Yes.
I had another thought that might be interesting to share. because you were saying that sometimes negative space leads to positive space.
Yes.
Or influences the positive space.
Influences and defines it.
And defines it. I'd say the same is true in our inner world. You know, how sometimes, you know, the negative thoughts or negative experiences help us grow and help us. It informs, you know, say problem solving, for example. Like you have a negative experience and you start problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's influencing, hopefully, a positive result or a positive reality or outcome from that. So that could be kind of a similarity there.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it might be that you're playing or creating a part, but if you're not in the right headspace for that part, you're never going to get the right sound.
Right.
Like, there's some Bach piece, I can't remember what it is, but like, until you've known that feeling, you can never really play it for an audience and hope to convey that emotion if you've never had that emotion.
Right.
You know, so like your learned experiences are also contributing to your musicality and your voice. You know, like how can you play that part if you've never experienced the emotions that went into that part?
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's that's the block.
Yeah.
But it all grows with you. I think that's part of it is that you have to continually grow with the music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Beautifully put.
deep topics on a Tuesday.
Deep talk, sax talk.
Sax talk.
Yeah, man. Well,
Next, mouthpieces. No, just
exactly. Mouthpieces are a whole other thing. That wood mouthpiece that we have, the Freddie Gregory.
yeah.
Holy crap. We have this wooden mouthpiece. It's a Freddie Gregory. It is gorgeous. Looks like it has like gold around the bottom of it.
Yep.
And it's made with the same wood that they make clarinets with. It is incredible. I played it. I had to put it down. I was like, no.
You had to gently put it down.
Yeah, gently.
Don't want
It's
to trip
wood.
that.
We have some killer ones. We just sold a mouthpiece to John Ellis.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out John Ellis. He was inspiring to me growing up.
You know, it was funny. Like I knew his name the moment I saw the order come in. I was like, wait a second. But it was. So we have these mouthpieces that came from this one professional player, and it was a box of 70.
Something like that.
What kind of journey does someone have to be on to have 70, not cheap,
Yeah.
70 mouthpieces?
It was incredible. It was an incredible experience. Just going through them, like, and labeling them, and it was unbelievable. I mean, he was like 95 when he passed. The guy that I forget his name. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Sax player from New England. But this dude was a serious collector.
Yeah.
Serious collector.
But not just, well,
And
to
player.
be fair, yeah, I mean, a player. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
an
sure,
artist.
I'm sure he played every one of those mouthpieces.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and it was funny because, like, there was that gold-plated, what's it called? Words escaping me. Part that holds on the reed onto the mouthpiece.
Oh, the ligature.
Ligature, I need a second coffee. Third coffee. So, I mean, there was like his dress ligature, you know, like when he was fancying up for the night. Like,
Yeah.
You know, but also you could see the ones that were well loved and well worn, and others that maybe he played twice and was like, meh.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. Like, can you see like someone's entire artistic exploration in the mouthpieces that they have acquired over a lifetime?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely
Of
part
like,
of
what
it.
sound was he going for?
Right.
Like, what caused him to go out and say, you know what, I want to buy another mouthpiece? What was he looking for?
Right.
In order to say, I'm going to drop $1,000 to buy this Autolink Florida,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. And that's interesting to me as well, of like trying to understand the not just the thought process, but the journey
Yeah.
of someone who's obviously on an artistic exploration.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept on saying, oh, it's not quite the right sound. It's not quite the right sound for this. Not quite the right sound for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish we kind of had the dates to go along with the purchase dates.
Yeah.
To see like what he bought in order.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, people do that for, artists that they love, like Michael Brecker or Coltrane. Like, people know every single mouthpiece they played on and horn and when they switched to what horn.
Yeah.
And, and then...
But are there insights to go with it? Like, this is when so-and-so switched to this horn, and the reason because... Not necessarily like it was because... It wasn't that he was suddenly sponsored by so-and-so.
Right.
But because there was maybe a life shift or a vision shift or something else. And he's like, well, I want to get into a poppier sound or a darker sound or, like...
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever done that study. I'm sure. There are some serious jazz heads out there that are into that. So I'm sure somebody has written it all out. We should look into it.
Well, I mean, there's the Phil Glass, and I mean, it's not saxophone, obviously, but Phil Glass has a great autobiography. But I wonder if there's an autobiography out there by some of these jazz musicians where they talk about that.
Right.
Or maybe they just don't even think that it's important to anyone, so they don't talk about it at all.
True. It's interesting stuff, man.
Now you have to document when you bought your saxophones. And and on this record, I used this horn.
Yeah.
With,
For sure. I mean, I think most of the records have been on... Actually, no. I used some random 10M on Moon Hooch's Yesterday's Problem, which is our last album. It's Yesterday's Problem.
But why?
I was looking for a more modern 10M that was like cleaner than the Green Lady. It was fully lacquered.
See?
Yeah.
That gets into it.
Yeah.
Like, there was something that you needed different from that instrument for that sound for that album.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, man. Well, I think we can call it there.
I think we can call it there.
Yeah.
Put this baby to rest.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. A little tune for you before we go.
Nice.
Peace.